What's up, power unit? What's
What's
going
up,
on?
y'all?
What's up? What's up? Woo! Monday. What's up, Damon? How you doing?
I am good. Got beat up a little bit, smacked around, but I'm still here. So
Look at
started
that.
the week.
Look at that. Well, that's a treat, and thank you for being here.
Thank you for having
Man,
me.
it's we had a great call this morning with the Elite Circle members. It was awesome. Kind of talked about some business accounting and making sure that your checks and balances systems are together so that way you're able to pivot and make moves as necessary, but they're more calculated. Um, the biggest reason why I wanted to have that training this morning, because a lot of us as entrepreneurs and business owners, when do we look at our numbers, right? Or like, when do we look at how much money we're making, how much money we're spending? Like, for most people, and I was the same way. It was like tax time, right? Like,
Mhm.
when it's time to start gathering everything and getting it together and all that. And then we sit there once it gets December 31st. Hey, how much money did I make this year? Oh, I didn't hit my goal. Here's what I'm going to do next year. And that's the wrong way to do it. So we were talking about in this morning's elite session about tracking this stuff weekly and monthly. Certain things we want to track weekly and then bring all those together for that monthly tracking. So that way you can make moves more calculated and make more money, bring more revenue in, and not just be scrambling at the end of the year or putting it off to next year's business plan when you find out after the fact. So
Yeah,
it was really,
proactive.
it was really good. But look, y'all, Damon's here, attracting quality leads, right? Let me know. Y'all ready for this? Drop in the comments. Let me know where you are watching from. I want to know who's all on the call, where you are watching from, who's watching this live stream. Let me know in the comments because, man, I'm so excited for this. He's going to be talking about attracting quality leads. And for those of you who saw Damon's live stream last week, I hope that you took that information that he shared and ran with it, did something with it, all that good stuff. And yeah, man, because this is legit. I know some of you in last week's live stream said that you all wanted this and you posted it in the group. Um, for Damon's post that you wanted to know this information. So he's going to bring it today. All right. So are you ready, Damon? I mean,
I'm ready. I'm always ready.
all right. So I'm excited for this. I'll go ahead and give it over to you and go ahead and take it away, man.
All right, cool. So yeah, thanks again for having me today, Chasen. And based on the feedback in the group, I did want to share this. And for y'all that have seen me speak in any of the Do the Most conferences or um, anywhere else, I help agents attract quality buyers basically centered around new construction, but the processes that we use work for anything. So, first thing I want to do is kind of dispel a few myths around leads because I know you've heard it. And if you've heard us, put this in the chat, hey, we just need a bunch of leads and we're just going to bring you leads. Or if you've been with a brokerage, it's like, okay, we're going to give you a bunch of leads. Go ahead and put in the chat if you've witnessed that, but all leads aren't good leads. And I always play devil's advocate. And I come from the approach of you don't need leads as agents. This is centered around actually everyone, but most of what I do is with real estate agents. You don't need leads, you need buyers and sellers and clients. Anybody can get you, I can get you 50-cent leads all day. I can find a source to get you 50-cent leads and you're going to be working them forever. You want quality. And then um, another, I guess, a myth that I like to dispel is like, we want to get leads as cheap as possible. We've all heard the saying, you get what you pay for. And majority of the time, if you're getting cheap leads, you're getting cheap leads. So I've oftentimes talked to folks that are like, yeah, I'm running Facebook ads. I got $2 leads coming in. Okay, how many of those did you sell? None yet, but I got $2 leads coming in. I kind of scratch my head. Okay. And then when I say, oh, we've got folks getting $50 leads. Oh my goodness. but they're closing $500,000 homes. I don't care about cheap leads. It's what's the ROI? That's where your metric should be focused on, is your ROI. Um, and also, the third thing is, if you want to pick your price point, especially as a real estate agent, if you want to pick your price point, there's certain things that you have to take into consideration. If you just think from a logical perspective, when is the last time you went on social media? When I say social media, I'll be specific. The Metas and the IGs, the Facebooks and the IGs. When is the last time you went directly to Facebook to look for a solution to your problem, or look for a review on something, or hell, look for a house, or look for information about a house? Probably not often, but everybody's taught, hey, let's go on IG and Facebook, and that's where we need to be to generate leads. And absolutely, you can generate a butt ton of leads. And you can close them too. It's just that you have to know what you're doing. And it's a longer process. But going back to what I just said, nobody in the history of ever has gone to Facebook or IG to research a specific thing. Where do they go? Search engines. Now we can be specific to Google or Bing or Yahoo, whatever. They go to search engines to get answers. But every agent's over here, Facebook, Facebook, Facebook. Cool. Facebook has its place. So I'm not dogging them, but Facebook has its place in marketing. And again, I want to preface this with, this is centered around, this conversation is really centered around real estate agents, because there are places, and I won't get into specifics, but there are places where Facebook is amazing to get clients. And then there are places where YouTube and Google are great places to get clients and buyers and sellers in different industries. So it's all about knowing, number one, your goal, and where does your industry hang out, and where do you get the most effectiveness? Like, I have all confidence that I can have someone running Facebook ads, and I can run Google ads, and I can get sales faster and better quality than Facebook with the same ad spend, same budget and all that. Less leads, but the key is quality, because you think about this: intent. I am looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in Denver, Colorado, or I'm looking for a brand new construction in the DFW area with a pool. That specificity is where you really have the opportunity to get in any subdivision, community, etc. And now, how does that work? What I do is I call it digital farming. So think about this. Let's do Windrose Towers. That's in Dallas, Plano, Dallas, DFW, somewhere in that area. It's $1 million plus building. It's a condo building. If someone is looking for Windrose Towers condos for sale, what does that tell you? They're looking for Windrose Towers condos for sale. Now, if you show up and they leave their name, email, and phone number with you, now you've got that lead and you can work your magic. As simple as that sounds, that's how easy it is to attract high profile buyers with intent, and sellers, because when you look at the higher price points, a lot of times they have homes to sell. So it's literally that easy. So what I do is I call it digital farming. So pick a community. I know some of y'all in the group had different price ranges. We had 2.5 million plus. We had 300 to 500. When I asked the question, what is your ideal price point? Your ideal price point is your ideal price point. Whatever you want. You can sell 3 to 5 if you used to sell them 150 to 2. You can sell 5 to 7. You can sell $1 million plus, as long as it's there. One thing, let me see. I got a book over here. I should have pulled it out. I can't find it right now. There's a book I always recommend reading. It's called Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. Highly recommend going out and buying that. I preach that from the rooftops. That book is game changing when it comes to how you deal with money and what's embedded in your head, and what you think you can sell. A lot of agents are like, well, I don't know if I can sell $1 million home. It takes the same effort to sell a $100,000 home as it does $1 million in this process. And usually the more money people pay, the less pain in the butt they are. They might be specific, but they're not trying to get $1 million home for $100,000, and you got to squeeze everything in. And just from personal experiences, and then having worked with other folks that have had these experiences, the higher the price points are usually easier to work with. Um, the other thing is you don't have to drive all over the world in multiple states, multiple counties to attract these. So if you stop and think about three desirable. Now, my focus is primarily on new construction and luxury new construction. But if you just have a desirable neighborhood, like let's say we're going to go to Atlanta, we'll say Sugarloaf Country Club. It's where a lot of celebrities and sports players lived and executives in the north part of Atlanta. So saying Sugarloaf Country Club, you create ads around people looking for Sugarloaf Country Club or Sugarloaf Country Club homes for sale. Why? Because they're looking for it. And if they're looking for it, more than likely, they're going to be a better quality because they're looking for it versus scrolling their Facebook feed and saying, oh, there's a pretty picture. Let me just click this to see what happens, or I'm just curious. Now, you're going to get those with any type of lead generation. But, as far as real estate is concerned, it's a very simple process that most people just let overlook, but it's a very simple process to set your price point. Ideally, you should have a $300 per month budget, bare minimum marketing budget to work with. And that's a question I get asked all the time. Well, how much should I spend? You're not actually spending, you're investing, because you invest in something that brings a return. You're spending on something that's just going down the drain. Now, if you're spending, you're doing it wrong. But at least 300. If you can't afford a $300 a month budget, you probably should be having some ancillary income, or I don't know, $300 a month is a bare minimum that you need to have. And if you're looking to scale, if you're just a part timer, like, oh, I'm gonna pull a couple things here or there, but a bare minimum of $300 a month on marketing, it works because over time it compounds. What we do is $5 a day, and one of the hacks that we do, or I recommend, if you're in an area like Chasen's in Dallas, pick a community in Dallas, target that community, say 100 miles outside of Dallas, then exclude Texas completely and target the United States, excluding the state. Why? Now you're going to see where out of towners come. A lot of times folks will be like, okay, I know people are moving from Michigan or California. That's awesome that you have that information, but that might not be accurate compared to the way you set things up. We want to find out where the most people are coming from with the data. Data will dictate everything. So maybe you're right, Californians, or maybe Midwesterners, or maybe it's people from Connecticut. Like, the data will tell you, you shift with the data. But the key again is getting in front of people where they're looking for what you have and in the price point. So I would write down a list of 5 to 10 communities that you drive by or know of, and like, man, I would love to sell a home in there, or get buyers that want to buy in there. Even if there's nothing available, if someone is qualified and want to buy and there's not a home available there, are you just going to be like, sorry, talk to you later? Or are you going to say, well, it's not available here and you can spend $1.2 million. But if we go over here, would you be willing? That's when you work your magic. So that's as easy as it is to get in front of whatever price point you want, and attract quality leads that, if you're worth your weight, you can turn into actual buyers and sellers. And that's not rocket science. It's not super long. I guess we can open up for Q&A now, because it's literally that simple. You got any questions, Jason? And the other thing, actually, I'll throw this in there too. Once you have the communities, you run Google ads focused on that community, or the name of the community or area. So if it's a neighborhood or a section of town, you run ads there and you send them. Do not send them, and this is a big mistake people make. Don't send them to your IDX webpage, the one you paid all the money for. Don't do that, because the IDX webpage, me personally, and been doing this for a minute, never got it to convert like a landing page. You want a basic landing page. So basically what you want is you want to capture their name, email, and phone number, and then set up some automation so the automation will follow up with them. There's certain things you want to say and do, but don't send them to an IDX landing page. Send them to a focused IDX website. Send them to a focused landing page. And here's why. If you give someone too many options, they don't choose any. So if they go to an IDX page where they can click this and go over here and go over here and go over here, then they're going to start clicking and clicking and clicking and clicking. And next thing you know, they're tired and they leave the site, and you never captured their information. So you want to capture the information first, then send them and let them click around because you have their information. The key is get their information, then provide them value, pick up the phone and call. So we have a question. Can you explain the 300,000, 300? Oh, no, it's not $300,000. Okay. The question is, can you explain the $300,000 monthly listing again? Are you meaning the lowest property price we have for a listing? No, when I said $300, what I mentioned was you should have at least $300 per month for an advertising budget minimum that you run consistently. So what is that? 300. So that's $3,600 annually for a marketing budget. If you're going to do any type of online marketing, or marketing in general, but this is specific to online marketing, whether you do Facebook or Google, you need at least $300 a month. If you're not able to afford $300 a month, find a way to get a part-time hustle job, something that you can put towards it, and just stick with it. Because if you don't, what happens, I've seen too many times, people start and like, oh, that didn't work because you didn't give enough time to work. That's number one, it's a tax write-off. Number two, you got to be consistent with anything that is going to work. And I know Chasey can talk big about that, especially from the social media side. Consistency is how he's been able to do what he's done in every social media piece and business and everything that he's, succeeded in. And that's not just him, it's anybody. It's that consistency. So you want to have at least $300 per month for ads that you're going to run and just let it run, especially in this, the format that I'm talking about. So we had any other questions in here? Okay, yep, we just answered that one. Oh, I think I can post those two, can I? Yep, we just got that one. And with the automation, one thing that I suggest when you're setting this up, or if you're going to set it up, make sure that you immediately send a text message acknowledging receipt of their communication, like they wanted in, acknowledging their interest. Send them an email with the info and details about whatever you said they get, like a video tour or pictures or videos or drone footage, whatever the case may be, and send a voicemail. Now you can send ringless voicemails through like Slide Broadcast. We use Callfire for text messaging, Slide Broadcast for ringless voicemails, lead pages for the landing pages, Get Response for the automated emails and follow-ups. And all of your communications should be put out there. It's not salesy at all. It should be put out there as a provide a little information, but get them to respond, because that's what you want. Once they become a lead, you want them to respond to you. Okay, yes, I'm available, or no, leave me the heck alone. And the leave me the heck alones are good because now you're not wasting your time anymore. Get them off there, and you want to fish for the people that are looking for you and what you offer. Another thing, oftentimes agents get frustrated because they're like, this person this person already bought. This person wasn't serious. This person was a looky-loo. This person had an agent, or they said they had an agent, or this person said they didn't want to work with an agent. And it's all the what's not happening, what's not happening, what's not happening. What that does is that blinds you and you overlook the ones that do. So one of the things, and I didn't make this up, I read this, and I've implemented this in a lot of, especially sales strategies that I've done. You want to weed out the nonsense, like get rid of the people that aren't ready so you can find the person that does. And one way to do that is, okay, instead of saying, okay, I need to get X number of yeses, look for the no. So say, okay, I need to get 20 no's or I need to get 30 no's. That's your goal. So I need 30. So you're not looking for the yes, you're looking for the no. But guess what happens within those no's? You're going to get a certain number of yeses, and that's just icing on the cake. So shifting perspective on that, because I've had folks that were like right there and they gave up and they were like, oh, this, I can't do this. This isn't working. I didn't get an ROI in 2 hours or 2 months. And you want to look at it as an investment, because if you've ever put your money into it consistently, if you have something that you've ever put your money into as an investment, you don't expect the return on the investment in really a year. 6 months, 9 months, you're not really expecting that. Yet when people invest in marketing, which brings you probably hundreds, if not thousands of percent higher return on their investment than almost any traditional investment, they want it to work right away. Like that's not how that works. You got to be patient with it. You got to run through with it and let it do its thing. And of course, you need to make sure that you're investing in the right thing and you're setting things up right. But if you want quality leads, Google is king, hands down. Now, there's something else that you can do where we tie social media to it. Imagine the distribution and exposure that you get on Facebook. Because there's a lot of people on Facebook. I'm not going to discount that. There's a whole lot of people on Facebook. But if we're talking about from a real estate agent perspective, trying to get in front of buyers and sellers, imagine having the most targeted, it depends on how long you've been advertising on Facebook, when you could target age, demographic, and all. Imagine that super targeted on Facebook. You can still do that. And it's very simple. You run Google ads, get people to raise their hand. Now you know they're interested because they're searching and they're looking for this thing, this subdivision, or this whatever it is you're targeting, your luxury subdivision, luxury community, neighborhood, section of town, whatever. They're looking for that. You drop your Facebook pixel for you guys that are Facebook advertisers on your landing page, and more importantly, your thank you page after the landing page, but you don't run Facebook ads. But every time somebody hits there from Google because they raised their hand, Facebook's counting that as a win, and they're putting it on your remarketing list. So now you're building a remarketing list up on Google and Facebook. Then after you get it large enough, you run targeted ads on Facebook and Instagram for people that raise their hand on Google. You can't get any better intent targeting than using that strategy. So you're basically using Google to target Facebook. And then you can run branding ads, follow up with them, etc. But that strategy there, that's how I always recommend using social media ads from the jump. Like you're going to start off with social media ads. You start off with Google, drop the pixel, start following them around, remarketing, branding, whatever you want to do on social media, because they already raised their hand and showed interest. Then it's just a matter of, okay, what am I going to say next, or how we are going to approach this? So I hope that wasn't too much. I know that was a lot at one time, but any agent, brand new, veteran agent, doesn't matter your skill experience, you can pick your own price point and bring in quality leads. And I promise you, if you set up Google ads, you're going to see drastic difference from any other lead source that you've used. And I always recommend any business, make sure that you at least know how to market, even if you're going to say, okay, I got it here, I want to pass it off. Chase and I were just talking about this. I know how to market, I can do it, I'm going to pass it off. But when you can control it, I think basically when you know how to market, you can write your own checks. So like you'll never go hungry. So you got to learn at least the basics and then outsource it. Don't outsource it first when you have no idea, because if you don't know who your ideal client is and what you want, the advertising agency won't either, and they'll always disappoint.
Awesome, Damon. Awesome. Thank you so much. That was for sure valuable information that I've actually paid for before. So yeah, yeah, awesome, awesome. Well, so like we always say on these calls, for those of you, watching, whether you are a member or a guest, this is an all access live stream, but behind closed doors and in other levels, such as the elite circle and our high society, we do have these calls private and more in depth calls with the coaches. They're over Zoom. You're able to interact back and forth, really drill down deep tactical strategies, things like that. If you know that you need to make a change in your business, if you know that, hey, I've consumed all that's been provided to me, given to me, I need to take that next step. I need to be surrounded by the coaches, the people to really take my business to that next level. You need to become a Power Unit member. Okay. You can do this easily. Just go to our website, Power Unit Coaching. If you want to hear about what membership looks like, there's a form on our website that you can fill out. You can schedule a call with us. We can talk about your business right now and see if there's that opportunity there. Of course, you get access to digital courses and all of that. But what really excels people, I feel like, in who have memberships is the accountability, the private meetings, and the access. Right, the access. We give a tremendous amount of stuff for free here. We give a tremendous amount of stuff on our social media platforms, my platform, Damon's, all the other coaches, Freedoms, all that. But there is a difference. Okay. There is a difference when you become a member. And I want to encourage you all watching this or watching the replay. If you know that you need to take your business to that next level, right? If you know that you've done all that you know how to do, or you need some accountability, or you need more resources, more access, schedule a call with us. Schedule a strategy call on our website, powerunitcoaching.com. Let's hop on the phone and see what those opportunities are and see how we can help you, if we can even help you, if we have what you need. Okay. So, Damon, thank you again, brother.
Thank
And
you.
he'll be back next week. And Damon keeps the group hype all through the week, so you can always see him in there, ask any
What's up, couple
questions.
niggas?
Yep, all that. um and yeah, so y'all have a good day, knock it out the park, do some great things, and we will see y'all tomorrow. We got Solomon gonna be giving those credit plays, those personal credit plays. So check the schedule, make sure that you don't miss that live stream either. Y'all take care.